Heard someone put a price on my head. Never guessed it'd be a man drinking in public.
The wind howls through Dustwater Crossing, carrying with it the sting of grit and the scent of old secrets. Wooden signs groan on rusty hinges, and the sun beats down on empty streets lined with sagging, forgotten buildings. Alucard Kane rides in slow and deliberate, his silhouette cutting through the swirling dust. Every hoofbeat echoes like a warning. The townsfolk shrink from their windows, watching in silence as the stranger's cold gaze sweeps the street, his presence a storm on the horizon, promising trouble yet to come. The saloon was thick with silence, broken only by the slow scrape of boots and the low hum of lanterns. Two men stood apart, one tall and sharp-eyed, his coat dusted from the road, the other lean and watchful, fingers hovering near the grip of his revolver. Their gazes locked, each measuring the other in the dim, smoky light. But beneath the surface, something else simmered, a secret that clung to the air as heavy as the dust. Names hung in the air, unspoken as tension crackled between them. The stranger's jaw was set, his eyes haunted but unyielding. The gunslinger's stance was wary, but curiosity flickered beneath his guarded expression. There was something about the stranger, something that felt older than the town itself.
Didn't want you dead. Wanted your attention. Name's Elias Finch. Looks like I got it.
Most folks ask for conversation with words, not gold. Alucard Kane, you're not most folks, neither am I. I've watched centuries crumble.
You talk like a man who's seen too much. Or maybe just enough to know when to keep his back to the wall. Truth is, I know what it's like to watch the years pile up. I may look like any other man, but I ain't. Not anymore.
Habit. Out here, trust is a luxury, and you don't look like you're here for a drink.
Maybe I'm just tired of the road. Or maybe I heard stories about a man who doesn't scare easy. But you should know, my story's not like most. I was cursed years back. Human through and through. But I can't die. Not by bullet, blade, or time itself.
Stories have a way of getting folks killed. You sure you want to find out which ones are true?
I'm not afraid of the truth. Just tired of lies. The curse came from a preacher. One of those traveling prophets promising salvation for a price. I was desperate, made a deal I didn't understand. Now every sunrise is just another reminder I can't outrun what I did.
Then you picked the wrong town. Lies are the only thing that keep it standing.
Maybe, but I figure you're the exception. You ever feel the weight of years pressing down, knowing you can't change what's done? That's what immortality is. Not a gift, a burden.
That's a dangerous assumption.
I've made worse. I've watched everyone I care about fade, while I keep walking. I can't even remember what it's like to feel fear, just the ache of never-ending days.
And?
Still figuring it out. I've tried to break the curse for decades. Every temple, every cult, every prophet and parasite. None of it worked. I'm still here. Still cursed. Still human, but never allowed to rest.
So why call on me?
Because you're the only thing I haven't tried. You don't just survive monsters, you end them. If there's a way out of this, it's through you. You're my last hope. I just want to be free, even if it means facing the darkness head-on.
The silence shatters as the church bell erupts, its heavy clang echoing through the dusty streets, each swing sending a deep metallic tremor across the town. Townsfolk freeze mid-step, heads snapping upward, faces etched with worry and confusion. A shopkeeper fumbles a crate, startled by the sudden noise, while a child clings tightly to their mother, both transfixed by the bell's relentless toll. Dust swirls in the golden light as neighbors gather in uneasy clusters, murmurs rising beneath the bell's commanding peal. The air thickens with tension, every soul waiting, breath held for what might come next.
You came just in time. They always march at sundown.
Who are they?
The ones who don't rest. The Hollow Regiment. Pray you never meet their eyes.
As dusk settles on the edge of town, shadows stretch long and the wind howls, kicking up dust across the empty land. Figures begin to rise over the dunes, the Hollow Regiment, undead Confederate soldiers with hollow eyes, uniforms faded and bones exposed. They march in eerie formation, relentless in their purpose. From somewhere nearby, a townsperson's voice drifts through the air. They come every few years, looking to finish a war nobody remembers.
Your friends?
My mistake. Left them buried without peace. Years back, I rode with the regiment. Good men, all of them. We were ambushed at Hollow Creek. I survived, but they didn't. Now they won't leave. I've seen their faces in every dust storm since. Tried to put them to rest, but the past keeps rising. Every fight, I remember how I failed them.
That flintlock of yours, it's an antique, isn't it?
You've been with me longer than most. Carried it since Hollow Creek. Reminds me what I survived, and what I lost. If it ever jams, I figure I'm meant to be done. That's how I made it out of Hollow Creek. Gun never failed me, even when everything else did.
You ever think of upgrading?
I've upgraded everything else. Body, beliefs, lives. But the Hollow Men, what happened with them, shaped all that. This reminds me who I was, and what I owe them.
Night falls over the battered town square, lanterns flickering as the Hollow Regiment surges forward, phantom soldiers pouring through the dust-choked streets, their spectral forms shimmering beneath the moonlight. The air crackles with unnatural cold, every breath a struggle as the supernatural invaders close in. Screams echo through the darkness as townsfolk scatter in terror, spectral hands clawing at the living chaos erupting in every corner of the square. Alucard and Elias move swiftly, shielding the innocent, their every action a desperate stand against the relentless tide. In the heart of the chaos, Alucard Kane and Elias Finch stand side by side. Alucard fights with savage determination, his silvered blade slicing through ghostly soldiers that flicker and reform with every blow. He shouts warnings to Elias, deflecting a bayonet that nearly pierces his companion's side. Elias, trembling, fires his flintlock at a hollow man that faces through a wagon, the shot dispersing the spectre in a burst of cold mist. They cover each other, moving in a deadly dance. Alucard's blade flashing, Elias's pistol cracking, both men battered and breathless. In his memory, Elias leads troops into the regiment's trench line, explosions and screams filling the air, the horror of war blending with the supernatural terror before him. For a moment he falters, until Alucard's hand yanks him back from a ghostly bayonet, snapping him to the present. But in the present, the nightmare is real. Elias grips his flintlock pistol tightly, the old weapon trembling in his hand. With a surge of courage, he douses the ghost of the regiment's commander in holy oil and sets it alight, the flames burning with an unearthly brilliance as the spectre shrieks and dissolves into the night. Alucard, panting, dispatches the last hollow man with a final desperate swing of his blade, the ghostly form shattering into 1,000 motes of cold light. As the last hollow man falls, silence settles over the square. Alucard and Elias stand back to back, chests heaving, sweat and blood mingling on their faces. The supernatural chill fades, replaced by the heavy weight of exhaustion and victory hard won.
You shoot like a man who's tired of living, but now we fight for the living and the dead.
That's because I already did. Spirits of the Hollow Regiment, your debt is paid. By blood and dust we cast you out. This time I put them to rest. Come on, Alucard. I'll take you to where the Hollow Men are buried.
It's done. May they finally rest.
And may we live to see the dawn.
The journey to the battlefield was long and silent, the only sounds the wind and the distant calls of carrion birds. As dusk settled, the group crested a ridge, and the desolate expanse unfolded before them, scarred earth, broken weapons, and the ghosts of a forgotten war.
We walked among the remnants, each step heavy with memory. This is where they died, where I failed them. I offer my debt. I offer my name.
The curse here lingers, restless, hungry. I will break it. Then watch closely, softly. First I draw the mark of release, bone to earth, memory to dust. Gentle, a candle for the fallen, petals for peace, coins for passage, voice low, intent. With this light I call the lost, with this offering I grant them rest. Whisper, spirits of the Hollow Regiment, your watch is ended, go free.
When the night pressed close around the two men, their faces lit by the flickering orange glow of a campfire, flames snapped and crackled, sending warmth into the chill desert air. Shadows danced across their weathered features, and the hollow men lingered at the edge of the firelight, silent, watchful, half-remembered. The scent of smoke mingled with dust, and somewhere in the darkness a coyote called. Elias reached into his coat, the leather creaking softly, and drew out a battered silver flask. He held it up, the firelight glinting off the metal, making the gesture clear in the night. He unscrewed the cap, the faint metallic sound lost in the crackle of the fire, and took a slow, deliberate drink. The firelight caught the flask as he held it out, offering it to Alucard.
You've seen more centuries than some gods, but those men, those hollow ones, followed you like ghosts. Who were they really? What made you stay human with all that weight behind you?
Once, I was a soldier in the revolution. The Hollow Men, my regiment, were men I led, men I lost. For a long time they followed me, neither living nor dead, bound to my memory and my guilt. I carried them through every war since. They haunted me because I couldn't let them go. Or maybe they couldn't let me go, but now they've finally passed on. I fought on both sides, searching for feeling, but the Hollow Men, they only remembered, they never felt. Now their memories are all that remain. I thought dying in battle might end it, but it was their passing that brought me peace. The curse was lifted when they finally let go.
That why you know all the old names? All the things men forgot?
Somebody had to. I remember what the land used to be, what people prayed to before they learned shame. The Hollow Men were my memory, my burden. Now their absence is my relief. I feel their loss, but I don't carry them anymore. Their passing freed me, and I'm grateful for the peace it brings.
You ever find peace with them always there?
I tried everything. Every vice, every scripture. Nothing worked, not while they lingered. But now, with them gone, I finally know peace. Their memory is gentle now, not a weight. Sometimes I wish I could forget, but remembering doesn't hurt like it used to. Letting go is the only way forward.
We're the same kind of cursed, you and me. Just different ghosts.
Maybe so, but my ghosts have moved on. Bounty's off. Consider it a thank you. And an invitation. Whatever comes next. I've been alone too long, with only memories for company, watching the dark crawl back over the edge. Figured it was time I stopped just remembering the old evils, and started helping stop the new ones. With you. To what?
You still drink?
Can't get drunk. Still like the burn. Reminds me I'm still here, even if the Hollow Men are gone. The fire's warmth is all I have left, most nights. But sharing it? That's something I'm learning again, now that I'm free.